for this review, we have the Bandai DX Chogokin VF-1J Armored Valkyrie. I've been looking forward to getting this guy for a long time. This particular configuration is unique to the Macross movie, the first movie, Do You Remember Love? It was never brought to the States officially, but when the Robotech toys were out, there was a lot of weirdness in the US because of the licensing of the toy rights with Hasbro and the whole thing. It was just kind of weird. There was no transforming Robotech toys in the States back in the 80s. But I was a fan of this cartoon, and I think for Christmas I got a model kit of this, which was like tiny and did not transform, and I had never painted anything before. And I was excited and disappointed at the same time because I knew couldn't I couldn't paint it and make it look good. At least as a you know 8, 9, 10-year old. So glad to finally have gotten this. This has been out for some years now. If you're interested in this, basically you're gonna have to go aftermarket. Um, you might be able to find some good deals on eBay. That's probably going to be the only place you can find them if you're in the States. So starting off, this thing does have kind of like this mid-band slip. So let's go ahead and pull it off if we can. Yeah, it is definitely holding the rest of the package together. The color scheme of the box is really nice. This lettering that looks silver or gray, it's metallic and it's three-dimensional. The DX logo is also, and this Macross thing down here is also raised. It has kind of like a metallic lettering to it. On the top, got something similar. It's a different pose, a little bit different graphic. On the side, we just have the text and the, I guess this is a US Spacey logo. On the other side, a little bit different text, but we see the back. Ah. On the bottom, we have this upward facing camera angle photo. Oh, and I forgot to mention there's a hologram, holographic sticker right there. And finally, on the back, we have basically a demonstration of everything that you're going to get in this box set. Um, Basically, how the armor looks. You can open up the missile bays. That's the whole point of this armor. Uh, they basically travel out first, fully armored. They shoot the missiles, then they eject the armor, and they, kind of go into battle mode. Um, does illustrate that you have a complete Batroid in there to put the armor on. It shows all the pieces kind of laid out, and there's a whole little thing about this little piece to simulate um, Ichijyo going, down into the base of the unit in the pilot seat. And that is pretty much it for the packaging. So let's go ahead and start opening this guy. There is a slip cover, so let's talk about that real quick too, because I forgot all about that. Whoops. Okay, so the slip cover exposes this. There's some diagram work, some more diagram work here. And he does open. Let's see. I did want to show you this because now you can see this big giant photo on this side. There is a giant photo on this side. And then this thing opens. So there's a lot going on here. I'm going to see if I can just stand this up, and I'm going to do this in a couple waves. So side one, you see your Batroid. Side two, you see your armor. And it's nice how they call out the pieces. They give the pieces like little part numbers. So you get to see exactly what you're going to get with this unit. Okay, so we're going to close this up for ease. And I guess let's take Batroid out first. Okay, so got Ichio, we got the gun, we've got a bandolier for the gun. Don't know what this is yet. We got small hands, and then a bunch of fixed static hands. Also, there's a booklet. This booklet is actually pretty thick. Sometimes these things turn into like art books, but this is all full color. And the part that transforms has a little pink overlay, so that's nice. Okay, no artwork or anything, but this is like really premium manual. And oops, there is a base underneath. I'm going to show this off really quick now because I'm not going to use this base later. But the base is in two pieces, and it's so that you can basically use it in both modes. So you would slide this in this way for we'll call it robot mode, and you can put it in this way for flight mode. And then you've got various adapters. This looks to be flight mode or Jerwalk mode. This might be flight mode or Jerwalk mode. The smaller one is Batroid mode, definitely. And now if I can only figure out how to put it back in. All right. Okay, and something that I could not see from the glare on the plastic cover, there's a couple antennas in here. I'm gonna leave them in, but you would use these for the fighter mode, or actually, you'd use these for Jurrock and Batroid mode. It goes on the back. We'll leave those in. These straps are pretty nice. The super armor mode also has these. We got our UN Spacey rifle. Still don't know what this is. I want to say this is a tool, but this might be for something. I can't remember what it is. And we got little Ichio. There's Ichio. Still will not get in focus, but you get the idea. All right, here's our Batroid, and I know where this is going, so I'm gonna take the head off and the hands off. As we will be using the larger hands later, and then basically pull these feet out until they pop all the way, and that's how you get the feet together. All right, into the side for the moment. And he's got some bigger hands. I'm gonna take these hands out. These are kind of like medium size hands. We'll be able to use the gun with these. I think the bigger hands are not going to work because uh, they're going to be fists, closed fists. Okay, so here's the second tray, and there's a lot going on here. I do want to just show these real quick. Let's actually show the second tray since you can't really see this from the package, from the outer package, but we've got the seat, uh, front of the crotch piece, the boosters, some leg armor, some arm armor, part of the legs, the feet, and this is what secures the boosters. Sorry. This is what secures the boosters to the back. The feet here and the leg armor. And then head, shoulder, arm, chest, waist, legs, big chunky fists. Okay. So you kind of end up needing to go through both of these at the same time. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, didn't realize there was two Ichios. Um, they're exactly the same. That's interesting. I guess so that you can have one in the cockpit preloaded and the other one in his little chair. Guess we can go ahead and talk about that real quick. Not really much to this. He just sits in it, and basically you can just place him up here. This just lays here. It kind of pegs in a little bit. I'm not going to push it all the way in, just to keep from having to struggle to do this on camera. But um, that's what that looks like, which is really cool. You see him. I think you see him like leave his Batroid in the movie. So this basically you imagine that this is, coming up to the top and then he exits that way. So I'll just put him there. But let's go ahead and give this guy a head. One thing to note, this kit does not come with the side. Oh, I lied. I was about to say this kit doesn't come with the side fillers, but they actually do. They're pre-installed. So, heh, um, I need to be quiet. Let's keep going. All right, so I think I'm gonna put the feet on first and get that out of the way, and they just kind of snap on. Basically, you want the grippy part at the top, I believe. Yeah, you can kind of slide them into position too. But basically, like where the rim, this kind of beveled edges, that's bordered edge. That's where you uh want it to be pointed at the ground. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the crotch piece because it's going to be difficult to deal with it later. And basically, the side that's got all the writing is in the front. The side that's kind of plain is in the back. And there are quite a few tabs. The middle tab is like the main thing that's doing the, securing the connection. And there's a bunch of little tabs around it to just help get everything lined up. And it's probably good to extend the ring wing while you do this. And make sure the hips are lined up good. And you're also going to need to deal with this nose cone. Just swing it to the back. And just kind of take your time lining everything up. Okay, sorry I had to do that off of camera, but it's like almost impossible to do that uh, far away like that. So we should go ahead and put on these pieces. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put these on to help secure this a little bit better. But there's these two tabs sticking out. These two holes for them to go into, and this is already coming apart. Okay. And I was a little wrong. These tabs don't go into these slots. They basically fit around this center cylinder. So imagine this is where a cylinder goes, and there's a cylinder in the center, and you just kind of slide it on, and you do get a little bit of a pop there. And then we'll do the same for the other side. Okay. And then I think we can slide these guys on now. There's tabs in the front, tabs here at the bottom, and it just kind of slides on. Oh, you know what? I messed that up. These were supposed to go on. So this goes on, and then you put this piece on. And that's where that peg and this hole goes. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. And I'm being super extra careful. These things aren't like, you know, crazy delicate, but they're not the strongest stuff ever either. You can definitely use too much force and break this plastic. Okay. All right. So that is that. I mean, that's a lot as it is. So let's get these shins on. Actually, let me think about this. We're gonna go ahead and put these on because these tab, and they're gonna give us structure for the other side. So there's these little tabs here that go into these little slots here. They don't really pop, but you'll push them in and they'll just kind of stop. They'll go so far and stop. Okay. Okay. Feet kind of fell apart there for a moment. So let's do the back of the legs. We've got some slots to slide them into. And you know what? I think I should have done the back first. Yep. Okay. So there's a lip and a peg. The lip is tucking under this piece. The peg is plugging into that. And then the leg, I show you those slots here, but there's some slots here that the leg, this part of the armor goes into. So definitely need to get the back part in first. This is why you should follow the instructions. Okay. But when you do it correctly, you can tell because it all starts working. Okay. So we're going to need to put the leg armor on next, the front of the armor. Just kind of slide it in because we've got some tabs here that are going into these slots. And then now we can put in the inner piece, and there's these corresponding tabs that just kind of fill everything up here. All right, and it does seem to help to put the back part in first. I don't know that it matters, but I'm just finding it easier to get the back of the piece in and then work the front. Okay, slowly getting there. That's a lot. Okay, let's do the boosters. So we got this piece here, and it basically just slides into this area. And this goes in like that. I don't think I have that in there good. Yep, this may go on this side. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this still isn't on there all the way. This needs to get into this slot. I'm just being finicky right now. And it should go in pretty deep. Okay. And then there's tabs here that go onto each side. And this is just helping to hold it in place. It doesn't really like snap into anything. And let's do this to give me some wiggle room. And again, I'm going to do this off camera, but you get the idea. This is going to come up, and then these little pieces need to tab into there. All right. And if you did it correctly, you should be pretty flush. As you see, there's not really any gap there. All right, so I think we can bring the wings down, and I'm getting close. He's getting more and more heavy as we go along. We didn't talk about this, but this is the final adapter, the display adapter for the armored mode. Okay, so let's do the arms, and they're kind of straightforward. But before we start messing with them, let's get their orientation correct. So that goes on there, and then this just pegs in on the top. That's pretty much it. Um, and then one thing is, these don't really peg in at the bottom. So you want to get the back of this piece to basically line up against the back of this. That's the only real thing you've got to kind of measure, like, you know, is this where it's supposed to be? That's kind of it. So you do that. That is pretty straightforward. Here are the big giant fists. I'm going to use the regular fists. I actually like the giant fist, but again, I want him to be able to hold the gun. One quick thing we need to do is we've got these little pegs that go into the little holes on the rifle. They go in pretty easily. We got that. And I actually need to transform this a little bit and get this back into the hand. And I don't even know if he can hold this. Kind of. Not really. But we're just gonna act like that's normal. Okay. And we're almost done. So we've got his shoulder pieces. Red part faces forward. They are two pieces, but you can put them on. I mean, they basically they just sit there. So up to you if you want to like take them apart to do this, but they just slide on. They don't do anything else. And then last but not least, we've got this. And this doesn't peg into anything, although there's these peg slots here, but there are these little grips. They're going to grip underneath the edge of this. And I don't think you really need to try to angle it. I think if you just put it there and push, yeah, it just works. Okay. And that is it. He becomes very heavy at this point. So you get it this far, he's stable, but like um, there's a couple times I was like working the legs and I actually mushed the legs, the feet in. So that's a thing that you're gonna have to worry about. Be delicate, but it's not fragile. And then we didn't talk about this, but he does come with smaller closed fists. Okay, so he's pretty much done. So as you're seeing this, you're seeing this all edited and cut up, but this took me over 30 minutes to do, and it was quite a workout. There's just, again, not having a camera in front of you, you could probably put this together pretty quick, but um, first time doing it, taking my time, trying to be careful because I don't know how fragile some of these tabs and different things are. Um, it wasn't too bad. Um, so now that you've got this thing together, you got all this cool stuff, and we kind of talked about it at the beginning, but you imagine that these guys, this one doesn't want to open. There we go. They send them out. This is open. Nope. They send them out to battle, and you know, basically they spend their missiles, and then they dump their armor. A few of these missiles come out like basically these legs. The missiles come out. Everywhere else, I don't think they're removable. It's a little weird. Like, why are some of them removable and some of them aren't? But it's okay. But basically they exhaust their missiles and then release the armor, and they're in their sleek mode. They can fly around, they can fight, all that good stuff. But yes, this guy is a behemoth. Again, he's not, don't have to be delicate, but there's a lot going on. The center of gravity is all over the place because you have things hanging off the back and off the front and off the side, so you can easily have this guy in a position where he's going to fall if you're not careful. So if you get one, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. You just might need to finesse the legs a little bit to just make them, you know, as sturdy, as secure as possible before you leave it alone. He's got the big giant fish you can put on, which is more movie accurate. And then again, we got little Ichio and his little pod. All right, so let's do some quick comparisons. So we've got in the same movie, we've got the advanced armor. Uh, More or less the same Batroid, but the head is a little different. So you got the kind of triangular looking head, and this one's kind of the smooth head. Basically, this is where the Jetfire toy got, it, the model that it was borrowed off of from the Japanese toy is this look from the movie. So this doesn't really put any height on him because you don't put any heels on him, but as you can see, like he's quite a bit more beefed up. Definitely a powerhouse in this mode. To help understand some scale, here's Wheeljack. So that's how big this guy or both of these guys are. And I've got a Optimus, MP Optimus. So these guys are a little bit bigger than Ultra Magnus. So pretty pretty big. And they could go in a display with other Transformers, other robots. You might want to have some Transformers with them. Um, Gundam might be appropriate. If you can collect more Macross stuff, definitely do more Macross slash Robotech. Oh, almost forgot. There are missiles in his chest. Yeah, he's got missiles everywhere. He's got a matrix leadership of missiles in his chest. So that's the review. This has been pretty fun. This is like this is definitely a grail. Like I've been wanting this since I was a little kid. I've had all kinds of of iterations of, cool transformers, different versions, modern versions. This is my one and only time finally getting like a proper battle armor version for this version of the VF1. So let me know what you think in the comments. As always, tune into more videos coming up. And if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.